Hi, I'm Bunny, off to discover something else that children around the world have in common. Want to go with me? Do you love sports as much as I do? Have you ever wondered which sports other children around the world like to play? Let's take another trip to see if we can discover what other kids are doing to have fun. Soccer's my favorite because it's fun, healthy, and a great game for all kids. Boys and girls from other countries, big kids, little kids, tall kids, short kids, young kids, and even older kids. Some kids play just for fun, but some want to compete all the way through school and even hope to play professional soccer. Just the same, all kids start out learning the basic moves just like everyone else. Some kids hope to earn college scholarships or even compete in the Olympics or play for their national team. It's a fun game for kids and their families around the world. Motocross is an exciting off-road motorcycle racing style that first started in England. It has now become an international sport enjoyed by men, women, and children. This sport has a world championship for adult riders with races held in Europe, North and South America, Asia, Australia, and Africa. There is now even a freestyle competition where riders perform stunts and tricks while jumping their bikes instead of racing. Believe it or not, there are even motocross classes for kids as young as 3 years old. Lots of kids enjoy just for fun trail rides on mini motorcycles. I think I'll stick to that level. Basketball is one of the most popular and most watched sports in the world and is another sport played by men, women, and children. Basketball was first played way back in 1891 in a gym class when a teacher was trying to keep the class active on a rainy day. Did you know that a peach basket was used as the very first goal and a soccer ball was the first basketball? Kids everywhere play basketball in schoolyards and recreational leagues, and there are lots of different kinds of games. You may have seen wheelchair basketball, or water basketball, or even unicycle games where players ride on one-wheel bikes for the entire game. Kids in lots of places around the world, boys and girls, can play just for fun ice hockey in leagues that start for children younger than 7 years old, and the leagues go all the way up to age 20. After that, they move to adult leagues. So not only is ice hockey played around the globe, also everybody can play. You can find leagues for kids in the United States, Canada, British Columbia, Finland, France, Germany, Sweden, and Switzerland. Some kids play their games indoors while others play outside. If you're one of the lucky kids who get to play ice hockey, now when you start a game you might think about all the other kids in these far-off places who might be starting a game at the very same time. As you can see from these pictures, gymnastics is a sport that requires strength, flexibility, balance, and control to master several pieces of equipment as well as freestyle tumbling. Like most of the other sports we're talking about, kids can get involved with gymnastics in many places around the world, often starting at very young ages. Are you surprised to learn that the very first gymnasts started in ancient Greece? They didn't look much like today's events, but included skills in getting on and off an actual horse, as well as other circus-type skills. Gymnastic events are very popular in the Olympic Games and are watched on TV by millions of kids and their families from around the globe. The next time you watch gymnastics on TV, you can thank those people in ancient Greece for a very fun and exciting experience. I'm sure we can all agree that baseball is another fun sport for kids almost everywhere. Why heck, you don't even need real equipment. All you really need is a stick for a bat, something to use as a ball, and a few friends to play the field. The first baseball players go way back to the mid-18th century in England and haven't ever stopped. In the United States, baseball is known as the national sports, which started in the 1850s in New York City. Many kids start playing baseball in little leagues, and a few lucky players make it all the way to the professional teams. But more than luck, players have to work hard, be determined, and practice for many years to reach the top teams. Have you ever seen a wrestling match between kids? They're fun and exciting to watch. Many leagues have been created to introduce the sport to elementary and middle school kids, both girls and boys, to teach them techniques that can be used on through high school and college. Like many other sports for kids, coaches also work to instill qualities such as good sportsmanship, participation, and the need for a great education. Wrestlers are split up based on their age, weight, experience, and capabilities to make the matches safer and more competitive. When I watch kids out on the mat today, it seems strange to think that cave drawings of the first wrestlers go back 15,000 years and have been found in caves in France. It's amazing that some Egyptian drawings actually show wrestlers using most of the same holds and moves that kids still use today. Wrestling is another sport that kids and their families enjoy watching during the Olympic Games. There are many places in the world that think of soccer when we say the word football. In the United States, football is the game shown in these pictures where you see young boys playing the game. Many kids start playing football in pee-wee leagues as early as 5 years old. This is another game that can be played all the way through school and college and for professional teams. Watching football on TV is a very popular activity for many families and their friends. The first football games played in the United States began in Boston, Massachusetts in 1862, with players using, surprisingly, a round ball. Since that time, many changes have been made, including the shape of the ball used today, and football has become the most popular sport in the United States. Another sport that many kids around the world enjoy with their families is water skiing. This is a great warm weather water sport enjoyed on lakes, rivers, and even on open waters. Skiers are usually pulled behind small, fast motorboats, or even by jet skis with their growing popularity. More advanced skiers can use just a single ski called slalom style, and even learn to do tricks and jumps. Learning to ski requires strength, muscles, and good balance. Since 1922, when water skiing was first invented on a lake in Minnesota, this has been a fun activity for people of all ages and skill levels. Once warm weather moves on and we move into cold winter weather, many kids and their families begin to enjoy snow skiing, which is a popular winter recreational sport. Modern snow skiing first began in cold Scandinavian countries, but some people believe that people in ancient China were actually the first to ski on snow. Even though snow skiing is mostly an outdoor sport, because of its popularity, other forms have been developed, which range from indoor and grass slopes to actually using roller skis instead of the traditional style used on snow. Several types of competitive skiing events have also become very popular during the Olympic Games. Because of the popularity of tennis, many boys and girls are becoming involved in both competitive and just for fun tennis at earlier ages, some as young as only 4 years old. Many countries around the world have even started national championships for kids younger than 10 years old. Tennis is a racket sport, and games can either be played with just one player against one another, or can be between two teams of 2 players each. Tennis is another favorite Summer Olympic sport, and it can also be enjoyed by players of all ages and skill levels. Like basketball, there are also leagues for wheelchair players. Tennis, such as it is played today, also began in England, when the first tennis club was founded in 1872. You may be surprised to learn that tennis was first brought to the United States in 1874 by a young woman when she returned from a vacation in Bermuda. You may have already learned in school that about 70% of the Earth's surface is covered with water. With that much water on Earth, and considering the popularity of swimming pools, it's easy to see that swimming is not only an exciting competitive sport, but it's also important that young children learn to swim so they're safe around water. Many parents begin swim lessons for kids even before their first birthday. Some learn to swim to begin a lifelong love of the water, while others begin to compete on swim teams as young children, then continue on through their college years. Since swimming is such a healthy workout, it can be enjoyed for a lifetime. Paintings all the way back to the Stone Age show people swimming for fun, so this sport has been around for a very long time. Competitive swimming first began in England when the first indoor swimming pool opened to the public in 1828. Competitive swimming began in the 1930s, not long after that first pool opened. Along with other Olympic events, swimming is one of the most popular and most watched events during Summer Olympic Games. As we've learned, there are many sports that kids can enjoy with their families and with their friends. I hope we talked about your favorite sport. Thanks for thinking about all these different sports with me. Please come back to watch Bunny Tales as I travel to other countries and fun places. See you next time.